folks, my name's Dan and welcome to my channel. This channel's going to be like about chosen one content, basically what I've experienced myself, and how like biblically true that your worst enemies will be that of your own household, which I've discovered. I didn't want to believe it at first, but it's the old good book's true about that. I've had, well, going on it's been all my childhood really, but the past 10 years since I've met my my partner, my wife, that things have really, and in the last few years as well, the demons in these people have really amped up, to the point where I've been friends with weirdos in the past, and once I've cut them off, they've gone away. But these are pursuing these are booking holidays and stuff like that. Trying like destiny swap, which is witchcraft, and they're confessing to be Christians as well. So they're creating like this. They've got all my family members to come against me, like they did, like they tried to do with God at the Tower of Babel, and they're creating this like family Tower of Babel to try and like take your life, take what you've got going on, and as we found out at the Tower of Babel, it didn't work. The tower come crashing down, and that's what's going to happen with these losers, because they are the devious. Especially I've had friends who are just, druggies and stuff like that, and just liars, but the religious ones, they're the most sneakiest. The devil really does come as an angel of light, does perceive himself, change himself into an angel of light. In my experience, they're the worst ones. No ones I've dealt with have gone to this length. That my family's doing. It's totally insane. It really is. Can't believe it. But yeah, they're not going to win in the end. And just letting you guys know the journey and what to expect when as you go through this. I'm just telling you my journey and what I've experienced. So like, share and subscribe. Leave the fold. They'll try and stalk your Facebook, stalk your social media, get your family to message you, like your aunties and your brothers and your sisters, things like that, and they'll try and find out where you live, so they can either steal your blessings or try and come back into your life, which is completely insane. Because once you're away, they can't do the damage that they were doing when you were close by to them. Like my enemies were calling certain authorities to come round my house and things like that. And yeah, when you move away, they don't know. But that's why you can't tell them where you live. You've just got to totally cut them off. If you don't, they can cause more damage. They can they want to finish what they started when you were in their presence. So you've got to totally cut them off. You've got no other choice but to do that. It's dangerous. You stay in the mix, because I did that, because obviously not all my family members were against me, but they were using the family members that I was speaking to information gather, and then that just prolonged the process. So, word of advice: you've got to just, as cold as whatever they think, you've just got to cut them all off. If you don't, you just make more problems for yourself in the long run. Because but they're gonna, when you cut them off, they're gonna gun for you anyway. That's
fire dies.
Sound the pursuit.
That's what they were always gonna do. They know that you're gonna go eventually. All control freaks and all that. So yeah, sooner rather than later, and just let them attempt to do whatever they think they're gonna do. But when you're doing the right thing, you'll be protected. But yeah, stalking and things like that of the enemy. It's not no good person tries to follow somebody around. It doesn't happen even in the movies. The bad guy tries to find out where the good guy lives, so they can try and destroy them. Even if they say they're Christians, like my parents would claim. They know the jargon, but if they're following you about, that's the tactic of an enemy. That's not the behaviour of a Christian. They leave you alone. Like, I don't care what they do. I'm not bothered. I leave them alone. They were, every time I'd go and visit, because obviously I'd moved away from them, rightly so. But every time it was fake tears, pretending that they'd miss me, blah blah blah. Mainly my mum would do these fake tears, but then seconds later, straight to the court, straight to the what she really wanted to know, asking, various questions, trying to find out, gauge where trying to information gather, so she could tell one of my female siblings, which is the main culprit, which was doing the attacks. Obviously my parents weren't doing the attacks. They'll let the underling do that, so they're, in their mind, their hands are clean. But if you're information gathering for when they know that sibling's against me, then inadvertently you're working for the enemy. So whether you say you're a Christian or not, you'll know them by the fruits. The behaviour tells all. If you're trying to destroy someone, trying to follow someone, trying to copy someone, that's work to the enemy, and not of anyone of God. But they'll see your blessings, and that's when they'll want to steal. If they're religious, narcs, which my parents are. They'll come up with scripture and all kinds to try and do that. But anyway, that's why these New Age churches, they don't believe in following the Ten Commandments, because that takes away their right to do as thou wilt. In their mind, there's no consequences for their behaviour, and they think it's the Ten Commandments are done away with when they're not. They're spiritual laws that are always going to be there. You shouldn't steal, you shouldn't covet, and that's exactly what they're doing. So anyone who does that, they're on the losing side. So just don't even, as long as you don't tell them what you're doing and you've made it clear, you want them away from you. Anything they do from then on, that's whatever happens to them when they're being disobedient, it's got nothing to do with you. So you've done your part, so leave it in God's hands, and He'll sort them out 100%. But yeah, what happened originally was my wife exposed something what my evil female sibling was doing, so that snowballed into them all turning on my wife, and what they were trying to do is get me to side with them, when that's not. Man's to leave his mother and his father's house and cleave to his wife. So you don't ever turn against your wife if your family's being wicked. That's what made us move. We totally moved away from them, and how they didn't want to visit when we were 5 minutes down the road. As soon as we move away, they're all of a sudden concerned, and especially when they think they've seen what they've seen blessings wise. They now want to give gifts and things like that, where they weren't doing that before. So that's how you know. That's another red flag as well. If when you were down and they weren't behaving the same, they weren't giving you anything or anything like that, and then as soon as they see blessings or whatnot, they all of a sudden start being kind to you and stuff like that. That's how you know they're up to something. That's how you know they're wanting something. See what they want, what my parents want. They want to steal my blessings to give it to their evil child, and obviously them as well, because they don't want to admit that what's their little units all twisted and wicked. They've got this front that my parents have got this front that they're Christian, but the children are behaving total opposite of their theology. So that shows what character they are through the children. Obviously, you can't control your children and what they believe, but when you're siding with them when they're doing evil, that's not Christ-like at all.